Welcome to Secret Talks. I'm your host, Michaell Magrutsche, here with Dr. Joen Painter and Hillary F. Brown. We are certified personal coaches that let you listen in on our private master sessions, where we discuss topics that come up with us or our clients. 206, Your X Factor with EX-PARNERS. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Michaell Magrutsche, your host, with my partners, Hillary F. Brown and Dr. Joen. Hi, girls.
Hey there.
Hello.
We came to this title because we found that there is a different love relationship between a romantic relationship and a friendship relationship, which is not a problem when girls are friends or guys are friends. The problems come when the guy has a friendship with a girl or the girl has a friendship with a guy. This is what brought this whole issue up. We often find there's a jealousy from both sides, from man being jealous that girl has a good friendship with a guy, which is most often creating problems, and the other way around too. We had a great story from a client of Hillary who did something that really amplifies that we need to look at the dynamics and the differences of friendship versus a relationship, and how could it work? Should we avoid to give up our friends when we get into a romantic relationship? What usually the tendency is with women. Guys usually are not as bad, but the tendency is that women creating their new nest and home and leave their woman posse. I'm handing it over to you, Hillary. Tell us about your client.
So I've been getting a lot of questions from people about, should you stay friends with your guy friend or your girlfriend that you had before you met your new significant other? And I was like, that's a good question, because I have a lot of guy friends, and it can be a topic even in my life where I have to talk to them about how to deal with their partner, significant other, and how we're going to keep our relationship, and if maybe we just have to be friends at work. I heard a story where this lady took her boyfriend and her old best friend camping. I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. What happened? And she said it went really well until the end, when it all kind of went crazy. And her boyfriend was like, what's up with that guy? There was a relationship there. I know there was. He said there wasn't, but there was. And I thought that was interesting because it's like a isolated climate testing people's boundaries. The boyfriend saw the intimacy between his girlfriend and her old friend, and like, how do you deal with that? So I thought, oh, that's a good topic for our podcast, because even in my life, I see this happening. People work with people and we all become friends and we still want to hang out with each other. But how do you deal with jealousy, misunderstanding that intimacy?
Let me interject here. The difference between a romantic relationship and a friendship, and I think you mentioned it perfectly, the X factor is the intimacy. Obviously, you told me this before, boyfriend was a new boyfriend.
I think it was a few months. It was a bold move, yeah.
Yeah, it's a new relationship. She knew the other guy for at least 7 or 8 years. During the 8 years, she went with this person camping, and there was nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
There was just friendship. They were good friends.
Yeah, just like two buddies who used to hang out, and now you interject a new person. And the girl was like, I didn't realize that would be an issue, but she never thought of it either. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can see that. You just want to go camping. You don't think, oh, no.
I think there was a ritual of that girl going out with her 8-year-old ex-boyfriend. There wasn't a long relationship with that.
No, I just think they met and kind of liked each other, but it was never...
What I see here, a textbook good friendship. They had a ritual of going camping, and the new boyfriend had nothing against that and just said, okay, I'll join you guys, basically. It wasn't joining because he is that lady's man. Now, talking as a man, I'm trying to know my new girlfriend and understand her and see how she is and who she is in different environments. For example, in camping, I can't focus really on that function. Now I'm getting confronted with an ex, it was a friend of her that has a deep intimacy with her, which threatens my knowing her and being afraid, is even able to achieve such an intimacy.
So is the new guy who's actually the boyfriend insecure about the old boyfriend, even though it wasn't even a serious relationship? Is that what the question is?
The question is, what makes the insecurity of the new guy? It's obviously not the love part and the romance, but I think underneath all of that is an intimacy that you have. Even though you have a hot girlfriend and be in love, have good sex, underneath, when the pillars of an intimacy showing, then people are intimidated. It starts when you're a child. When one of your kids has an intimate relationship with your uncle that everybody likes, or an intimate relationship or with their mother. With certain kids, you have more intimacy, and that's what makes feuds between siblings and jealousy, and because intimacy is a big part of love, and without intimacy, not much happens.
Yeah, I've seen siblings get jealous. Everyone's like, why don't you call me? And it's interesting how that can affect relationship.
Didn't the two guys know each other and are friends?
At the party. How much can you know somebody meeting them at the party?
Didn't they already know each other as friends? Hillary, did those two guys know each other for more than just at the party before you went out camping?
No.
But why would the new boyfriend say that's okay with me? We're talking from a man's perspective.
I don't know. I think he didn't know what he was getting into.
It's unbelievable courage to do that.
She didn't think anything of it because she just figured like cool people can get along.
2 months is really nothing. I'm not a relationship yet with that woman, even though we love each other and all these other things, but it's not cemented. There's no intimacy yet. An ex-boyfriend that had that also has the intimacy. You have to adjust your behavior.
You have to no, I just think you have to remind yourself that do things you don't want to do. Relearning to take care of other people. Well, sometimes I'm tired.
It shouldn't be an obligation.
You are the most lovable and most attractive when you feel good. And if you feel good and you're tired, you don't feel good. So you need to feel good. Instead of having 3 dates a week, you have only 2. Those 2 are going to be exponentially better if you sleep that one night. When you don't feel good and you're just like, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. When you're not feeling good and you go out, now you're bringing all that crap energy into the date. And that can then be misconstrued by your partner as, oh, she's bitchy, or I look forward to this and then she's going to burn it. He doesn't know you're tired. So I always say communicate your emotion.
She told him about that camping thing. Like, if you had told me earlier that you felt like a third wheel, I could have compensated. But now I can do nothing. And he was like, yeah.
I don't think you could have compensated.
No, I just think I could be like, oh, I didn't realize I was doing that. Or she could have been more attentive to him.
Is that in the natural of who you are?
No. Wait. I take it as, because there's 2 different guys there who both were at one point attracted to her, and maybe one still is, even though he says he's not. It's very easy to flirt with both guys at the same time. And
I think it
is. And it's not that you're trying to make one jealous on the outside, but your inner child is.
Oh, probably.
I honestly believe that's what happens many times for anybody in general when they're going out with 2 different people. It's real easy to focus on the other person, whether the other guy was somebody that you had a past interest with or not.
You said to stop going out 8 years ago to going camping here and then. They weren't boyfriend and girlfriend.
Doesn't matter. It's still easy to flirt with that person.
But I do think that boyfriend thought there was flirtation going on.
Do you think it's intimacy?
Yeah, I think it is. He recognizes it as something else. I think Joan's totally right, though. The familiarity was enough to make him think.
Exactly, that familiarity.
What I found funny, I thought all 3 were crazy to go out. From a guy's perspective, somebody that just met you going with you on a trip, it had all the ingredients to be a major explosion. 8 years ago, you guys ended and created a tremendous intimacy, and then you still go on camping trips, but you don't flirt or have anything. He meets Mike once and says, okay, that's a nice guy. I don't mind going camping with him. First mistake. If you say that, you need to accept that they have a long history together. And that's hard to accept for a guy that wants to count and then sees ultimately what counts is the intimacy. It's not just the physical attraction and the lovey-dovey. He couldn't handle that. I don't know if I could handle it.
True. I don't really know until...
Everybody wants to have meaning, you know that, through fame or infamy. When you take somebody's meaning away, it's hurtful and it's fought for. That's why people do stupid things. But, when I think about it, it's very hard to handle it from all 3 parts. There's something not feeling good about this. And you had a good trip, but the setup was crazy. Make sense?
I don't see anything wrong with the setup.
But you see the potential of getting it wrong. if I meet a girl right now and she says, my ex-boyfriend asked me to go camping, I say, what's the ex-boyfriend? And she would say, yeah, I know him for 10 years, 12 years, and we're friends, and I'm just into the knowing phase with you. It's under no circumstances. I want to have joy with you rather than playing self-confident and saying, oh, I handle it. And I know I can handle it, but I still wouldn't want that because my focus is right now on my new girlfriend. I want to focus on her and me know each other first. If I go out with her a year, then I'm caught up. Now, that's a completely different story. And obviously, I would want to know this guy better. I don't want a guy that could be potentially annoying. This is purely as my opinion and my opinion only. I'm not saying this is a rule or anything.
And I think even like going on a trip with one of your guy friends can be crazy. Definitely happened to me in Europe. All of a sudden you're like, what's going on?
But they fell in love with you or what?
Yeah, it's something like that.
I would not go on a trip with a woman unless it is a business trip and there's no attraction. Because when you're so close, the guy always starts thinking, okay, I'm bored, let's do something, like kiss, like make out, something. I don't know if I do this.
That's good to know, Michael, because I would never think that.
It doesn't matter how you look, you're a woman, and a guy is a guy. When you're in an intimate space, and especially if you like each other's friends, no, I'm not talking any chemistry or anything. Why do you think all these work relationships start? You get an intimacy, and intimacy is the power. It's not so much the love, it's the intimacy. And when you have an intimacy with a person, then it's very easy that when you feel a little frisky or something, that something happens. When somebody gives you space to be loose and space to be you, it is much easier than if there's a agenda, which means I'm dating you, we have love, or we want to have sex.
Well, when you're dating, you know that's what
you're
is
doing.
Going to happen,
yeah.
And you're all okay with it. But I guess I did not know that.
I'm surrounded by beautiful women, artists, friends of mine. I enjoy it thoroughly. There's nothing going on. Even if you go on a trip, I went with women to art shows for a day. But if I was to sleep the night over, have breakfast with that person, you're always together, and intimacy forms. Especially when nobody gets on each other's nerves. You feel really good, and all of a sudden there's possibilities. And guys always find something on the woman that they like. Guys are masters of finding what turns them on in a woman. So
they're seeking out the one thing.
They're seeking the one thing. If they like your hand, your feet, your nose, your ears, your boobs, whatever it is, they go for what they like. I think also the woman sees things that turns them on when they feel good, when they're not in their judgment, and you have good time with a person. I think you look more at the soul level, more at the energy and how it makes you feel to be with that person. And I think that opens doors. I don't know if you guys agree with it, but this is my experience.
You don't have that worry about that you're...
I'm not looking for anything that's sexy. I just have a good time talking, and like we have. When I talk to you guys, I don't feel like I want to have sex with you.
Oh, good.
No, Joan.
You're just enjoying the conversation.
You enjoy a conversation and enjoy the energy of you too. Mm-hmm. I like your faces and I think they're cute, and I feel very comforted by you because we know each other. I don't know what the new boyfriend thought, accepting that, and what was his motivation. Was his motivation he didn't want to say no to his new girlfriend because he's afraid he doesn't want to rock the boat, because he doesn't know that she wouldn't mind saying, okay, if you don't want to go, don't go. Hillary, is there anything else that was confusing in this trip?
The main thing was the misunderstanding of the blending.
You felt that all three didn't understand the blending?
Probably not. Like the role reversal, there's like role changes when you add a person camping too, I think, and that can affect it. All of a sudden the girl's responsible for feeding 3 people. The power struggle and the workload. Who's going to do what? Guy's taking care of his girlfriend and then the other guys. But that was her job.
Okay, but did the new boyfriend go on the trip because he was concerned if he didn't go that maybe the old boyfriend and girlfriend would get together? Or has he ever camped before and really wanted to go camping? That's one of my questions.
Yeah. Well, from what I remember is the guy just wanted to go camping and thought it would be really fun.
So you wanted to have that experience. And
and I think, like I was saying, is like I don't think anyone thought of like what was really going on. So nobody was really consciously thinking like, is this a good idea?
So you think it's a naivete, the whole thing? It's something, but everybody was naive and...
Yes.
Okay. But it ended up good, right? It didn't end up bad.
Yeah, I think so. And it was just like an interesting conversation. Like I said, it was a microclimate where you really see personalities explode. But it's interesting to hear the dynamics that can happen when two people trying to have a relationship, they're opposite sex. Can you maintain that relationship without your significant other being jealous or scared of the intimacy that goes on? I don't know.
Let me ask you a hypothetical question. What is if you were a new girlfriend and I came with an ex-girlfriend? How would you feel on a camping trip and we know each other 2 months? Would that work?
It would depend how secure I was in our relationship.
In our relationship.
Right. If it's a new relationship like that, I don't know that I would want the old girlfriend coming along.
How would you feel, Hillary?
I don't know. Maybe if I knew her, but generally no. It's weird. So yeah, if you think about it, then you're like,
Can I assume that it is not a good thing to go with, no matter if you're a woman or a man, it's not a good thing to go
Bring more people.
Yeah.
Bring more people.
Bring an extra.
Right.
So our solution is that it is not advisable to do something with an ex-partner and a new partner.
I know of another story where a group of people went whitewater rafting, and you're talking about 3 different rafts, group size about 14 or something, and same little kind of scenario that Hillary was talking about, where there was an old girlfriend there or an old boyfriend there. You could see the competition between the two people for the other person's attention, or the other person was able to spend more time chit-chatting with the old person that they knew for years in this long-term relationship with this other person. You hear these stories a lot. I don't think it's just new girlfriend things. I think it happens with long-term relationships too, where an old someone that you had a relationship with before, and you think that it's okay and secure to go on that, and it's a danger zone.
Do you think that there's a competition DNA in us, or is it just insecurity? I wouldn't feel insecure being a new boyfriend to a girl, and the girl has an old boyfriend, which is a real good relationship. It just doesn't feel good to me. Do we have advice?
Just say no.
My best advice is, if you're not super confident or it doesn't feel good, our solution is, if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel right.
If you're like, oh, no, in the back of your mind.
Even if it's a really great opportunity like a river raft trip and you know that there's 20 other people there, you still shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I think it would be wise not to do it. What about the ex into a new relationship with kids? When there's an ex involved, you are a parent, but you can be a parent without being intimate, right? You just be purely business. Since you had that intimacy, it's very easy to just build that intimacy again. And I think with an ex, you have to make a clean cut. If you have kids especially, not that you abandon him, but you are a good father, you're a good mother. They don't have to be intimate with each other. They love each other anyway on a certain level, on a different love. I mean, it's hard to not love somebody that you have a kid with, but it is better for the kids, for everyone involved, to really, once you have an ex, stay away from it. And if the ex you have kids with, then make it business. Don't get soft. Keep it business. Keep it business.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Makes total sense. And the other part about it, too, is that with an ex, you think that you can just stay friends and things will be just peachy and stuff. And it doesn't work because one of the exes thinks that, oh, this is still going to be okay because we're still talking and stuff. And you have to keep telling the other person, no, this isn't what you think it is. This is just the business. You have to go to the birthday parties and everybody's going to be there. So you're going to see your ex at the birthday parties and at Christmas and stuff. The first few times, it's super weird. It just is like, oh, God, you're so uncomfortable. But then accept the whole situation and you just enjoy yourself and you don't worry about the other person, but they're there. And
we still all agree upon that any ex should be handled as a professional relationship and not get soft and not say, oh, we two couples can go on vacation and all that stuff. It's about intimacy. It's not about having sex with that person. People are jealous at the intimacy that you have with someone. Right, Hillary? Wasn't that you said?
Definitely. Intimacy is what people recognize and see in other relationships that they're, what is that?
It's always that comparison. It's interesting. We define ourselves in how intimate we are with different people. Even if we had sex, that's almost nothing. But when it comes to, I'm really intimate with him or her, that's where people get jealous. That's where people get feeling inferior because they don't have that connection with that person. Whatever variation we're looking of an ex in a relationship, it needs to be handled as a pure business, And you need to be stern on that if you don't want trouble. And I think we agree all on that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You have to cut that intimacy with your ex as much as you can and treat it as a business relationship. So people are not getting harmed.
It's not the girl was uncomfortable, it was her boyfriend became uncomfortable.
And the other guy was too. So
probably, yeah.
Yeah. Those two are uncomfortable, then the whole group is uncomfortable. Girl cannot escape it. And if she felt that, she would not have gone. Because she would say, I don't want to be in the middle of two people feeling uncomfortable with each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
When they're just three people like Joan, me, and Hillary, then that works.
I agree. I think that's it right there.
Yeah,
Because
if your subconscious mind, your intuition saying no, there's a reason.
I agree.
Basically, trust your feelings when it comes to any excess. Trust your feelings. Don't think just about yourself. Think about how it would affect others, and not because you care for the others, but if it would affect others, it would affect you anyway. Okay, I think this is it, and we look forward to talk to you soon. Bye, Joan, and
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks so much. For more information, go to michaellm.com. That's Michael with double L, MICHAELLM.com. On the upper right-hand side, click on Wellness Team. If you like this show, please pay it forward by sharing it with your friends and like it. Thanks to my colleagues, Hillary F. Brown at hillaryfbrown.com and Dr. Joen Painter at drjoen.com. I'm your host, Michaell Magrutsche. Thanks for listening.